Hello, everyone, and welcome to this lovely Tuesday edition of For FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Troy Fields.
And I'm student meteorologist Jamar Kimball. This is October 29th, 2013.
And this day, Jay, was a really beautiful day. Once again, we've been seeing more of these fall-like conditions, although not so. Today was a little bit on the warm side, but still fantastic weather nevertheless.
Yes, it has been. This past week, it's been very beautiful outside, very gorgeous, even very nice picnic weather.
Picnic weather, and speaking of picnics, I went outside and I was enjoying the sunshine, and I was just like, I wish I was on a picnic, but it was still nice nevertheless.
Yes, it has been, Troy. But we're going to talk about our first story today.
Yes, and on this day last year, Hurricane Sandy made landfall on the southern New Jersey coast, and of course, what a memorable storm that was.
Yes, it has been. For New York, New Jersey, it's been a very memorable day for them.
Yes, and Hurricane Sandy was unusual in that it took a rather rare track into the northeast. Usually this time of year when storms curve out into the open Atlantic, they often curve out to sea, but that's not what Sandy did.
No, instead it curved almost right into New Jersey.
And it did $68 billion in damage, so making it the second costliest hurricane in U.S. history.
Yeah, it's been very tragic for them in New York and New Jersey. But we're going to send it out to Shane for the overview for today.
Thanks very much, guys. And here are the headlines for this week. We're going to see above average highs for a warm Halloween. So we're going to see highs again into the 80s this week with muggier conditions for Halloween night, with cooler temperatures returning next week. Taking a look at this radar showing the nation as a whole, clear skies persist over the whole southeast here due to the high pressure still sitting over us. But this rainmaker moving into the Midwest from the Great Plains, that's associated with a whole lot of severe weather, and we'll be giving you a report on that from the desk later in the show. Tonight here in the capital city, however, we're going to see a low of 53 degrees. It's going to be comfortable and things will be cooling off, so I recommend getting out around campus, taking that walk you've been wanting to do. Now for tomorrow, let's break up the day for you. We're going to wake up to pretty cool conditions. It's going to be 55 in the morning. Temperatures will rise to a high of, not a high, but 74 at noon, and it's going to warm up to 82 for the commute home. All right, let's send it back to the desk. Troy and Jay, what's up?
Thanks, Shane. And what's up is the Boston and Cardinals game.
Yes, and what a good game it's going to be, at least hopefully. It's a good game. I just love watching baseball on TV, so really, hopefully they do well.
Yes, I do. I root for my Boston Red Sox as they take on Game 6 at their home field.
Yes, and it's going to be quite chilly and nippy for the game. It's going to get down to overnight low of 49 degrees just for the time for the first pitch. So really, if you're going out, have that jacket in hand.
Yes, indeed. Make sure you stay bundled up. If you're a pitcher, make sure you stay nice and warmed up. It will be chilly, so make sure you're nice and prepared for it.
You don't want to freeze, because I know if I didn't have a jacket to wear to the game, then I wouldn't be as protected from the cold weather.
Yes, I wouldn't either, but we're going to send out to Casey with our first national for today.
Well, actually, you've got me. And what else you've got is southeast across this, or a high pressure area across the southeast, keeping all the clouds to the north and west, and a little bit of shower activity across the east coast. And that's being caused by easterly winds that are coming in off the Atlantic and across the northern Gulf of Mexico by an area of high pressure sitting right over the Carolinas. And that high pressure actually warmed us up a little bit today. 82 degrees for our high today, and it's actually going to bring in a little bit of rainfall towards the end of the week, and that's something that we need. We haven't had a day with more than an inch of rain in over 2 months, believe that or not. And actually, the month of October so far, we've only had an inch and 3/100ths of an inch of rain so far in October. 77 degrees around the region right now, and temperatures lurking right around 80 degrees at St. Mark's. 69 the cool spot in Monticello right now. Winds again out of the east or nearly calm right now. These easterly winds are going to be bringing in more moisture and also slightly warmer temperatures as we head into Halloween. Cool and dry will be the story for the overnight hours. High pressure is going to slowly moisten things up as these easterly winds kick up, and they're actually going to veer to the south on Wednesday and into Thursday. They're going to warm temperatures up into the middle 80s. And they're also going to bring in a couple of more clouds as we head into Halloween, but fret not, there will be no rain on Halloween. what we will see is a cool front moving into the area on Halloween and heading into the western parts of the area by Friday and into early Saturday. Unfortunately, we're going to have to dodge those showers for the game day at 8 a.m. on Saturday. For tonight's forecast, we're looking at 53 degrees in Tallahassee, a little bit warmer down on the coast at 58 degrees, a little bit warmer down there in Apalachicola as well, 60 degrees with comfy conditions and east-northeasterly winds at 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow we're going to be bouncing right up into the middle 80s, 83 degrees in Tallahassee, 80 degrees in Carabel and Apalachicola, with a couple of more clouds going on through the area. For your trick or treat forecast at 6 p.m. on Thursday, we're looking at 70 degrees with no rain in the area, but what we will see is that increasing moisture. You're going to feel that on your back, and you're going to feel a little bit more mugginess in the air as you take the kids around the corner to trick-or-treat and grab some more candy as well. For the rest of your 7-day forecast, we're looking like this. Temperatures into the middle 80s for Wednesday and Thursday, coming down into the lower 80s Friday, Saturday, and into the 70s by the time we have to turn our clocks back on Sunday morning at 2 o'clock. Rain chances will be out of our hair by the midday on Saturday, so no fret for rain as we head into Saturday and into the game time forecast at 8 o'clock against Miami. Now we're going to go ahead and go around the area with Braden now for a look at the southeastern forecast.
All right, thank you very much, Jonathan. And we're going to be talking about the big story taking over the southeast. Still looking at high pressure in control. Your southeast satellite and radar showing a couple clouds out in Alabama and Georgia. Moisture up toward the north associated with a cold front that will be making its way here soon. But right now, looking at dry conditions for Tallahassee and the surrounding areas. Temperatures right now, 52 in Savannah, 50 out in Tallahassee, 64 in Orlando, warmer down in southern Florida, 72 in Miami, and 75 in Key West. That was actually the lows, I think. The current temperatures are actually 70 in Savannah, 77 in Tallahassee, 80 down in Miami, a little cooler up in Wilmington, 66 degrees. Dew points around the area sitting mid-50s, upper 50s, mid-60s down in your southern areas. A little moist out there, more moist than it has been over the last couple days, but overall still looking pretty dry. Winds calm around our area, but you could see that sea breeze out in Florida, 12, 13 mile an hour winds out in Orlando and Miami. You can see a southeasterly flow up by Little Rock, Arkansas at about 5 miles an hour. Taking a look at your futurecast radar, and you can see this high pressure in control, this cool and dry air, keeping our area dry. It's going to be very nice over the next couple of days. Halloween's going to be looking pretty nice, but it may be a little humid. Definitely warm tomorrow afternoon. We're going to continue to heat up. Obviously, we had that cold snap over the weekend, but it is starting to warm up, and this cold front is going to make its way in by Thursday, bringing in more moisture for your Halloween, maybe a rain chance for your game day on Saturday. We will let you know when the time comes. Futurecast radar, again, showing nothing tonight at 7 p.m. But as we put this into motion, rain does get closer to our area. Moisture does continue to build. A couple showers out in central Florida. But there is that cold front Thursday that is coming right towards us. Definitely going to bring us some showers Friday into Saturday. Tonight's forecast, 53 degrees in Tallahassee, looking at 52 in Savannah. A little cooler up in Wilmington, 50, but a little warmer out, 74 degrees in Miami and 76 in Key West. Tomorrow, looking at 83 in Tallahassee, 79 up in Savannah, cooler again in Wilmington, 75 degrees. So you can see definitely after that cold snap, our temperatures are starting to warm up, waking up again only to upper 50s instead of those low 30s. However, right now, we will go ahead and send it back to the desk. Troy, Jay, what are we talking about?
Oh, Braden, we're going to bump up those warm temperatures, and we're going to tone it down the winter, because we got some interesting statistics for you, don't we, Jay?
Yes, we got the 5 coldest cities in America.
Yes, first on the list, number 5, is Caribou, Maine. And their average annual temperature is right around 40 degrees. So really give you the idea of like how cold it is.
Yeah.
Tell us more, Jay.
Well, we got number 4, Jackson, Wyoming at 39.4 degrees. You got Gunston, Colorado at number 3. You have International Falls, Minnesota at number 2, and first is Buru, Alaska.
Now, Casey, as we go to him for the national, how cold is it going to get across the country?
Back now. taking a look at the national picture, especially areas like Minneapolis, will get cool. You can see some of that snow impacting those communities up there in parts of Minnesota. National picture showing around Missouri some light to moderate rain around St. Louis, Kansas City, in fact, just to the east of there. And as we go ahead and take a look current conditions-wise across the nation, 76 degrees Dallas, a little bit warmer down in the southern part of the state, 84 degrees San Antonio. And you can see that we have a cool front that's trying to get its act together and march east. A big temperature disparity between Kansas City, 60 degrees, and Denver, 37 degrees. Watches, warnings across the nation. Currently some flash flood watches around parts of northeastern Texas. In those communities, in that green, that means some flash flooding conditions are possible in close to the watch area. Satellite and radar-wise, we're taking a look at the state of Missouri. Earlier, a heavy, massive showers in parts of areas around Columbia, just to the north of there. In fact, also areas around Springfield, Missouri, getting into some light to moderate showers. Minneapolis, we talked about that earlier, but some snow up toward areas like parts of Minneapolis in the state of Minnesota. Colorado, also parts of the Rocky Mountains, seeing some snow showers, talking about Nevada around Reno, also around Las Vegas. And as we broaden out the picture a little bit, you see the national picture once again. Now, snow cover, Billings, Montana, in fact, seeing some light snow conditions in those communities up toward those areas, even a few inches of snow up toward the state of Montana. Now this right here really shows the big weather story across the nation. We see that we have the high pressure in control over our area, but that's going to start to change as we do have a cool front over areas like Amarillo, Texas, also areas around Woodward, Oklahoma. This cool front also will bring some severe weather with this and the low pressure system. Severe weather potential highlighted in the yellow areas. Taking a look here at Wednesday, we see this moving across the nation, Arkansas, Little Rock, parts of Baton Rouge, New Orleans, maybe severe weather-wise, an enhanced threat even, into areas around Nashville and Memphis by the time we get into your Thursday. That'll try to work its way into our forecast, but not expecting any way in the way of significant severe weather in our area. Now, in terms of your forecast for tonight, temperature across the nation, 67 degrees in Dallas, 60 in Kansas City. Back into our area, we have 53 degrees, and then tomorrow, it's 83 degrees in the Tallahassee area. Pretty warm conditions across the southeast, but right now we'll take it over to Jason with a look at the local forecast.
Thanks, Casey. And indeed, things are certainly warming up in the southeast today. We reached a high around 82 degrees, so certainly we see some things beginning to bump up more, a little more fall and seasonal temperatures. But we were sitting right around 50 degrees if you're heading out to the door in the morning for work. Warming things very quickly, though. The sunshine was in full force to 82 degrees around 5 o'clock today. So certainly we've seen some more fall and seasonal patterns begin to return to the region when we had these 80s temps. Now, as the sun is beginning to set, 77 degrees outside, clear skies, dew point around 54 degrees. So certainly things have begun to slightly warm up. The reason why we have some satellite and radar showing us slightly some cloud cover from the west moving towards the east. So certainly helps us to warm up in a little sense with, of course, the sun-wise. Now, satellite radar not showing very much so except some cloud cover, and that cloud cover is, of course, associated with this cold front now just sitting off into the central plains. A lot of cloud cover, though, beginning to make its way into the southeast region. This is going to be a pattern to the next few days for Tallahassee as we see some more clouds and more moisture into our region. But overall, though, the southeast is still dominated by this high-pressure system associated into the southeast region, giving us some, of course, clear skies. Now, high pressure is beginning to move slightly off into the Atlantic, which has helped giving us those easterly winds. Hence, these dew points are beginning to turn themselves up. 54-degree dew point. We were seeing those 30-degree dew points a couple days ago. So a good indicator that some more moisture is becoming the reason. The reason why, like I said, we had those winds coming out of the east. 0 miles an hour currently in Tallahassee, but earlier today, though, we saw those winds bring some moisture in from the Atlantic. So hence, dew points will be coming up to in the next few days. Now, futurecast, like I said, high pressure beginning to dominate the region. Cool and dry night we're expecting once again. But as I put this into motion, that high pressure, like I said, beginning to move off a little more towards the east. Southerly winds will help us warm things up, like I said, and give us a lot more moisture. So hence those muggy conditions could be in store for your Halloween forecast. So certainly have something, I guess, that is very warm. Well, just make sure you're not too warm, because just looking for a muggy forecast as this cold front does make its way into the region. We're expecting some rain showers associated into Friday night, maybe Saturday morning. But Gamecast, though, we'll get to more about the Gamecast, of course, going the next few days when we have a better idea when that rain could be coming around. Tonight's forecast, though, 53 degrees, comfy conditions, cooling off once again, clear skies overall. Heading that day planner out tomorrow, though, heading out into the morning hours, 55 degrees. You may want to bring the jacket slightly a little cooler. Warming right back up, though, right into the 80s by 5 p.m. So certainly another beautiful day in store. Next 7 days, though, we have some rain in the forecast. Friday and Saturday, 50% chance of rain looking at nightly hours and early morning hours of Saturday morning. We're expecting some rain showers. But hey, I'm getting a little scared by a ghost on the screen. Boo. Looking at the next Thursday, like I said, that very muggy conditions once again in store for the Halloween forecast and those rain showers right after that cold front, Casey. But once that cold front does move off, we have some of those cooler conditions once again in store for our weekend forecast.
Absolutely, Jason. Some cooler conditions impacting our forecast in the Big Bend region. But let's go ahead and talk about some severe weather in the Midwest that could be impacting those folks as we get into, even this afternoon, some isolated threats in parts of the Oklahoma City area.
Yeah, we've seen on that national radar, we do have that low pressure system giving some showers in the Denver area, but as that goes over the mountains, it will help stretch the column and hence begin to intensify the system. So we're expecting some severe weather with that. Casey, we're expecting some hail, rain, or even maybe a tornado threat?
Yeah, there's some isolated tornadoes possible. Now, that biggest threat of tornadoes will be on Thursday, in fact, and in areas around Memphis and Nashville. But right now, we'll go ahead and take a look around the state of Florida with Jay.
It's all
On the satellite radar, we're seeing some very interesting weather as it's seen happening. But as we look around Florida, it's very clear weather right now. But when we go into later on throughout the day, even into Wednesday, we have seen very nice, warm conditions. Even when we go on even further now, we're going to see very nice, warm weather. But when that cold front comes in, it's not going to be as cool. When you look at Orlando, 76 degrees. When you look at Tampa, 81, and Tallahassee, 77, it's very nice, calm conditions. But if you're in the South, Miami, and Key West, looking at a few clouds right now, but once that moves over, it's going to be very nice weather. As you look at the current dew points, it's a little cool right now, but if you're in Miami and Key West, it's not as cool as it should be. But again, once that cold front comes in, when it's bringing a nice showers to cool us off, it'll be very nice weather. As you look at the satellite radar or futurecast, when we put it into motion, that high front start moving on its way, and we have that cold front coming in. But for right now, even tomorrow, it will be very warm. And when we go into late Wednesday into Thursday, that cold front will start making its way in, bringing warm and muggy weather, and also bringing a few showers. And if you're in the Tallahassee area, Thursday on Halloween, there's a slight possible chance that it could rain. And we put it again, it's going to be nice conditions. As you look at Tuesday, right now, very nice over in North Florida. You have a few showers off of coastal Orlando, but overall, it's been very nice weather around Florida. And we put it into later on Wednesday, going on to Thursday, late Thursday night. Showers will come into Key West and Miami, so make sure you have those raincoats and little umbrellas handy. You might need it. As you put the forecast again into motion, we see that cold front coming in off into Alabama and Mississippi, so it's going to bring a lot of showers later on Thursday into late Friday. And when you're playing when Tallahassee playing against Miami for the rivalry game, there is a possibility that it could rain. So make sure you have those umbrellas and raincoats handy. I look at tonight's forecast: 65 degrees in Orlando, 60 in Tampa, and very cold in Tallahassee, 53 degrees. Make sure you stay bundled up. If you're on the south, Miami, 74 degrees, and Key West, 76. Overall, you're playing really nice right there. As you look at tomorrow's forecast, 79 in Jacksonville, 83 in Tallahassee, 85 in Orlando. If you keep moving down to the south, 86 Miami, and 85 in Key West. So you have some very nice, calm conditions all around. But overall, if you're going out for Halloween, if you're in the north, make sure you bring raincoats and make sure you have an umbrella handy. If you're in the south, you have nothing to fear. Now let's send it to Troy with our
Hopefully I won't have to be afraid of that weather, seeing that it's Halloween. But as you head across what's going on across much of the country, you can see that the southeast is really the good spot to be in right now, with very terrific summer-like weather, although not without we don't have the humidity. So really thankful for that. But you can clearly see where the bulk of the action is across much of the country. You can find in the Midwest regions, and that our next storm system will be giving folks there the chance for severe weather in the coming days, and folks there should really be in tune for that. And speaking of that, we do have some warnings and watches to tell you about. And the green here represents flash flood watches, and a flash flood watch just means that we do have the possibility of seeing flash flooding, when rain just falls in a rather short period of time. So if you're just traveling along the I-35 corridor from Texas, Oklahoma, parts of Arkansas, all the way towards Missouri, you're going to want to heed your local weather authorities. Remember the phrase, don't turn around, don't drown. So really just be on the lookout for that. But looking at your radar across the southeast, you can see it once again, very gorgeous weather all around there under the influence of high pressure. So really, travels all along I-10, I-95. Really, it's a go for really if you want to just travel along that region, or if you want to get away for the weekend up around Lake Lanier. That's a good tourist attraction, so good weather there right now. But as far as your satellite radar is concerned, you can see there's that storm system I was talking about, located in the Midwest, parts of Dakota, all stretching all the way into Minnesota, and rain showers there and a little bit of snow. You can make out indicated by the blue just north of Minneapolis. So a little bit of wintry weather going on there right now, but nothing in the way of too much accumulations for the time being. And just to focus on that, further south, there's that sources I was talking about, lots of rain indicated by the yellow and green, although they're diminishing for the time being, but you still want to be on the lookout. Safe travels along I-35 from Kansas City up and down. But moving on along towards the west, we do have another major storm system spiraling, giving folks a little bit of snow showers as well and rain showers. So if you're going up high in the mountains in Utah, really just not bad skiing weather, but once again, just really be on the lookout for any higher accumulation, especially the higher you go in the elevation. And once again, there's a look across country. There's that storm system I was talking about. So all in all, fairly unsettled across the nation. And as far as our weather, as concerned across Tallahassee, it won't be till end of the week before we see any effects of the cold front. There's that future cast really just sitting out Tuesday. The cold front is passed on through. Current conditions really more mildness across the southeast region, 76 degrees in New Orleans. Tonight's forecast, more mildness in Surface, 53 degrees for your overnight temperature in Tallahassee. And as tomorrow's concerned, another warm day across the southeast, 83 degrees once again the capital city, with Northwest being the cold spot in the nation. But let's take it back up to the desk with Jason and Casey.
Thank you, Troy. And once again, we have an interesting story coming up here. Well, if you're like me, coming out around 5 o'clock in the afternoon time in Tallahassee, a lot of traffic, especially on Monroe and Tennessee. Well, we have a new article that says technology can help prevent traffic jams.
That's of course right. The new research suggests that radar sensors or cameras on cars can prevent traffic jams. And when a car slows quickly or unexpectedly, it can even trigger a chain reaction or some slow traffic.
Now, it's very interesting. And who made this, of course? MIT professor Dr. Horn. He made an algorithm, which is basically a very complicated mathematical equation that integrates a combination of traffic jams, human behavior, and it helps factor in and gives a good analysis so as to not prevent traffic jams and stoplights.
That's right. Multiple cars would detect the velocity of distance in that. But right now, we'll take it over to Brayden with a look at your third local forecast.
Thank you very much, Casey, and let's start with your radar. Nothing. A couple clouds moving in over the last couple hours, but other than that, we are not seeing much in terms of rain. Zoom out to the southeast, and again, you can see a lot of nothing except for those clouds starting to move in. You see a little bit of moisture up to the north. That's going to bring us a cold front over the next couple of days, but right now, we are sitting pretty. 77 degrees, clear skies, a dew point of 54 degrees, relative humidity sitting at about 40%. So again, a little more moist than it has been, but definitely not something to complain about. Winds, no winds. We are calm sitting at 0 miles an hour. Current temperature 77 in Tallahassee, cooler in Monticello 67, and warmer out in St. Mark's 81. Carabel also a little cooler 69 in Wilma as well. Here's your futurecast. You check out this high pressure in control, cool and dry air dominating our area. We'll go ahead and put this into motion, and you will see over the next couple of days it is going to start warming up. That cold snap that we had at the beginning of the week definitely has started to go away as we continue to warm. Going into your Halloween, you could see a cold front moving through Thursday afternoon. However, we are still looking at warm and muggy over the next couple of days. Check out what's going on out on the water. East winds 10 to 15 knots, mostly sunny, a light to moderate chop. So maybe a nice day to go out on the water if you are an experienced boater, but make sure that if you're a beginner, you definitely don't want to be out there tomorrow. Sunrise sitting at 7:50 a.m. and sunset at 6:51 p.m. Tonight's forecast, 53 degrees, comfy conditions. It is going to be cooling off. Winds coming out of the east-northeast at about 5 miles an hour. But we are going to continue to see those clear skies, and you can see 38 was our low on Saturday morning. So 53 degrees, definitely on the upward warming trend. Your day planner over the next couple days. Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. it's going to be a clear morning, sitting at about 55 degrees. Not too bad. Temps on the rise at noon, looking at 74 degrees, and we are going to warm up at 5 p.m. to a very nice low 80s, 82 degrees, so maybe a little warm for you if you are a snowbird out here, but always make sure that you love these temperatures. I mean, it's a little dry for the farmers, unfortunately, but we are seeing those sunny skies. It has been beautiful. It's going to be a warm commute on your way home tomorrow. Your 7-day forecast looking at 80s through Friday, a cold front, 50% chance of rain on Friday night, going into 60% on Saturday morning. But then we are going to begin cooling down those temperatures again. 48 your low for Sunday. Make sure you set those clocks back on. Make sure you set those clocks back on Sunday. Daylight savings time. It's going to be a fun time. Going to be lighter during the day. And we are talking about Halloween on Thursday. A little ghost there. It's going to be nice. Maybe a couple showers, but make sure you keep it straight. Let's send it back to Jason and Casey to finish things off.
Thanks so much, Braden. Let's go ahead and talk about weather history. Back in 2011, just a couple years ago in New York City, there was 1 inch of snow. This was the earliest recorded in weather history since records began in the country.
Of course, that's a very interesting story. Certainly a very early winter for New York City, that was. And in 1942, on October 29th, in Berryville, Arkansas, an unfortunate event happened in which a tornado swept through during nightly hours and killed over 20 people and over $500,000 in damage. And Casey made a good point, though. Back then, they didn't, at least in those rural areas, they didn't have those advanced warning systems.
That's right. In those communities, they really did not have a way to get warnings, nor weather radios weren't invented back then. But let's go ahead and take a look at your 7-day forecast. In fact, we see that 83 degrees on your Wednesday, and those temperatures starting to cool down in the weather picture. We'll see those temperatures cool down into the mid to upper 70s as we set our clocks back.
Hey guys, remember, certainly set your clocks back 1 hour. You get that extra hour of sleep going into Saturday night after the UM game. But otherwise, if you have any questions about the weather or anything else, like us on Facebook or even follow us on twitter.com/FSU Weather. And hey, you can also rewatch the show anytime on livestream.com/FSU Weather. Casey, I'm certainly excited for the game upcoming this weekend. Hopefully those showers will be in the early morning hours. But that's right for everyone, folks. Good night.